My name is Bill, and this is Clement.
Hey there.
We are cybersecurity experts at Bell Canada. You're currently watching a video that will describe a flaw in the cloud that hackers can exploit to gain initial access to your system, the Illicit Consent Grant.
Stop. All right, so we've shot that video 4 months ago with Clement, but in that time, some things have changed. Especially a week ago, Microsoft has revealed they suffered an attack that had been on from November 2023 to mid-January 2024, involving a group of Russian hackers called APT29, also called Nobelium. This group is directly associated with the SVR, which is the equivalent of the NSA in Russia. This group have compromised first a non-production instance with a test account, and then they've been able to escalate to production accounts in production instances and been able to read the emails from high executive at Microsoft. The way they did that, and Microsoft revealed the details, is through an illicit consent grant. So that's why it's so important to watch that right now. I'll leave you with the video.
An illicit consent grant attack involves persuading a person to grant rights to their data or the configuration of their Office 365 application to an external application.
An application that, in our case, is malicious, with the sole purpose of gaining initial access to the victim's security perimeter. Note that this is achieved without knowing the victim's credentials or having to go through the victim's multi-factor authentication, which is typically essential for accessing a user account. To carry out this attack, the attackers need an Azure account where they create an Azure Enterprise application. They then send an email to a victim asking for consent via Oauth. The victim receives an email, but that's not that it contains a legitimate URL which a real Azure application will have. Once the victim clicks on the links, they grant consent to the application and the attacker obtains user's permission.
Keep in mind that this process is entirely legitimate for the vast majority of applications, but it does require users to trust the publisher of the application they are granting rights to. The problem arises because nowadays we're required to give consent to multiple applications frequently, thanks to the distributed and interconnected nature of modern computing and the cloud. As a result, users may become fatigued and less vigilant over time.
Detecting this type of attack is possible through audit logs, but it does require your organization to recognize this attack vector as a risk. The only true way to prevent it entirely is to disable the ability to grant access to third-party services or external enterprise application within the Azure Administration Console. However, this can be inconvenient if your developer need to interact with many third-party applications, as is often the case with distributed architecture. In short, it's crucial to closely monitor your cloud configuration, and fortunately, there is tool available to help with this.
That's it. So I hope you enjoyed that video. If you want to learn more about the illicit consent grant and other cloud misconfiguration that can be exploited within a red teaming environment, you can check the details below. There's some links that you can use to dig deeper. Otherwise, I obviously encourage you to subscribe to our YouTube channel, 0 Day, that we're producing with Clement, where we speak about cybersecurity in general, but also more specifically on cloud security and that sort of misconfiguration. And beside this, well, I guess I see you next week for another cybersecurity topic. Goodbye.